Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's stream. We're going to keep things a little simple this week just because I'm still healing from having a tooth removed over here. So, yeah, I've still got some tenderness here. Doesn't feel good. So, I probably need to keep the speaking to a minimum tonight. But I think what we'll do tonight is maybe just kind of a laid back Q&A stream, maybe play a few computer games, just keep it kind of laid back because why not? So, if anyone has any questions they want to ask me, go right ahead. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but a few weeks ago I finally got my very first Xbox 360 controller. I don't have an Xbox 360, but the controller's nice to have on a PC. It's the GameStop version though, but still, it's good to have. It's not wireless, but it still works good. Okay. So, what have I got sitting around here? Oh, let's see. One thing I might do tonight is we might uh play some Sega Genesis games. So, stay tuned for that. I've got a USB Sega 6-button controller here we can use. We used this on the Windows 98 PC the other week when we did a emulation on there. So it ought to work really. Does your family still own your childhood home? Yes. It's I own half of it, and my brother owns half of it. So yes, it's still in the family, thankfully. Oh yeah. I still need to get around to setting this up. I might do this tomorrow when it's sunnier. This is a dash cam that my wife got me for Christmas. I'm hoping to get that set up in my 2015 Accord soon. Let's see, AVGN, Nostalgia Critic. I don't really watch any of those other folks like Cinema Snobs, Spoonie, Todd in the Shadows, Rap Critic. So yeah, AVGN and Nostalgia Critic are pretty much what I stick with. Phalius, I think I have the name sounds familiar, but I don't really remember what that person does videos about. Yeah, everyone's doing okay. 30 viewers. Wow, this is really cool. Michigan's getting slammed with a storm. Yeah, we're just getting a bunch of rain tonight. Thankfully, it's just rain. We thought that we were going to be getting a bunch of storms and possibly more tornadoes tonight, like we did Tuesday, but thankfully, it seems to be just rain this time. We hope to be getting a little bit of snow next week, maybe Tuesday, so that'll be really good. One, it's not really a YouTuber, but one source of media, I guess you could call it, that I've really come to enjoy the last couple of months. In fact, I signed up for it. I pay $5 a month for it. Is Rift Tracks. I bet a lot of people have heard of that. Rift Tracks is hilarious, especially when they riff the old 50s educational shorts. Those are hilarious. I was watching one this afternoon before I took a nap. That is some good stuff. Highly recommend Rift Tracks if you haven't heard of them. And they also do those old sci-fi B movies and horror movies. UXW Bill and VUS Life, yes, I do watch them very regularly. I've I've chatted with both of them before, so they're both really cool people. Let's see. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of Mystery Science Theater, clips of it at least. I've never seen the full thing. I've watched some clips of it on YouTube before. So yeah, riff tracks, great stuff. And by the way, I apologize for the mess in here. Have had too much going on. I still got my steering wheel over here. We did a video about the other day. It's still sitting here. It's a little big, I have to admit. Hi, Ghetto Fortnite. Glad to have you here. Check on a few things. Oh yeah. I destroyed a 486 CPU yesterday, and I feel terrible about it. It was a 486 SX25. It it wasn't in a ZIF socket, and I pulled it out foolishly with this screwdriver right here, and it mutilated the pins to a point that I couldn't straighten them out even with a credit card. So I'm going to have to order a new SX25 off eBay. Thankfully, they're cheap. I just it was that little HP Vector I've done videos about. I was trying to put a DX266 in it, but it did not like it. 95 Accord, as far as I know, it's still working. It's just sitting at the house right now. I'm daily driving my parents' old car, the 2015 Honda Accord, which I'm hoping to do a video about for either this Wednesday or the Wednesday after. It just depends on how much time I have tomorrow, if I can get it done. Speaking of upcoming videos, 2015 Accord is one of them, and another one is going to be about my main daily driver laptop. It's the Dell Latitude E6540, which is 10 years old now. Well, I've only had it since Christmas of 2019, but the computer itself is from 10 years ago now. So, yeah, this year I'm gonna do have to upgrade. Sergeant Crease Grease, life's been doing pretty good. Aside from having a tooth pulled the other day, that was not fun. Oh, I sorry to hear that, old radios. I hate to hear that about your record player. Yeah, I gotta get the car washed first before I do a video about it. I didn't wash it today because they were calling for heavy rain tonight, so I decided to wait till maybe tomorrow. Main computer specs. Well, I'm that's what I'm streaming from right now. So let me pull up the specs. Let's see. Go to control panel. Device manager. I guess it'll work. Let's see. I forget what motherboard it is, but it's a 2018, 2019 era Asus Prime motherboard with a Ryzen 5 5600, 32 gigs of RAM, a for video. I have an AMD Radeon RX 5500, which I'm hoping to upgrade to a Intel Arc sometime this year. 512 gig NVMe SSD, which also really needs to be upgraded. 4 terabyte hard drive, 6 terabyte hard drive as well. So yeah, that's the gist of it. Never been to Minnesota. Only states I've visited outside of North Carolina are South Carolina, Virginia, and Georgia. Might be visiting Tennessee next month. We'll see if that works out. That'll be my first time in Tennessee. Tuki Duki, I don't really watch many reaction channels, not that I know of. A shuttle PC with an Avalon XP. I had a shuttle PC someone gave me years ago. I don't have it anymore. I Didn't have it very long. It was pretty low end for the time, but it was pretty cool. Wouldn't mind getting another shuttle PC at some point. Yeah, yeah, I do like my E6540. It has been a trooper. I use it every day. It still plays YouTube videos just fine and stuff like that, so I can't really complain. But it's uh, it's running Windows 11 on it, but not officially. Don't tell Microsoft that I did this, but I did the registry hack on it. So that's another reason why I want to get a newer laptop this year, just so I have something more compatible with Windows 11 in case Microsoft pulls the plug on me or something. Favorite music albums? Well, I got this one from when I was a little kid. Best of Peter, Paul, and Mary, 10 Years Together. I don't know where it is, but Eagles Greatest Hits Volume 2. I've always liked that. Sports, Huey Lewis and the News. Oh, yeah, I'd love to visit more places, but I just don't have the time or the money really to do that. Yeah, I've tried Linux before. I just every time I try Linux, I just lose my patience with it. Uh, I just can't learn it. Album 1700, yes, yes, I do like that album. It's really good, especially the last song on there. The song is Love. I've just always I liked it when I was little for some reason. Go-Go's, yeah, I like them. REM, I like them, and but I've never heard of General Public. I may have heard one of their songs before, but I've never that name just doesn't ring a bell. And I am officially running Windows 11 on my main PC. That's no trouble at all. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and I got this mouse from a thrift store a few months ago. I still need to try this out. It's supposed to be ergonomic, but it's kind of a weird shape there. Do you think that it's hard to play retro PC games on modern hardware? Well, if you have emulators like DOSBox or 86box or PCM, those have gotten really good as of late. So playing retro games on newer PCs is a lot easier than it used to be. Eh, I'm going to go against the grain here and say that the Beach Boys. They have a couple of songs I like "Surfing USA," "I Get Around," but I, I'm just not that big a fan of the Beach Boys. Streets at South Point Mall in Durham. Nope, but I've heard of it, seen pictures of it, and I passed it. Jason Bedingfield, you're welcome. Oh yeah, the compact Versero 4500. I think I've heard of that computer before. Well, I am chugging down the water today. Favorite music genres? Essentially anything from the 50s to the 90s. I gave up on new music around 2001 or so, even though I was only 11 or 12 at the time. Don't care for rap, country, sometimes. Heavy metal, don't care for. Oh yeah, I've got a pack of Christmas Rolo candy over there that I can't eat now because of my missing tooth. I have to wait for my mouth to heal. Which city is bigger, Greensboro or Winston-Salem? Greensboro is bigger. Not by a whole lot. Both Greensboro and Winston are similar, but Greensboro's actually bigger. Oh, John Denver. John Denver is great. Had a compilation tape of his from the 90s. Ugh. Trying to see. Oh yeah, my wife also got me this for Christmas. It's a computer cleaning kit. Has all kinds of different little things on here, like this brush. Some of the stuff I don't even know what it does, like this little thing with the rubber on the end, and a key puller. The John Denver CD commercial in the 90s. Yes, that's the compilation I had back in the day, except it was on cassette. Yes, my Discord server is fully set up. It's available for Patreon members. So if you'd like to check that out, please do. Worst computer I've ever owned, probably the Gateway that I got new back in 2001 that ran Windows ME. Uh, it was horrible. So many blue screens, so many crashes, so many freezes, and it was a powerful computer for the time, and it was heartbreaking that it didn't run properly. I even upgraded it to Windows XP, and it still ran like garbage. In my never obsolete E machine from 2000, that was that was pretty bad too. So slow. Oh yeah, UNC Chapel Hill. That's I'd say a little over an hour from here. Leapster, I don't know if I've ever heard of that. Thank you, Zach. Least favorite food, anything with mustard on it. I hate mustard. I cannot stand mustard. Wow, DSL, I didn't even know people still use that. Visitors in person, unfortunately, I do not, just for privacy concerns. Vista got a bad rep because it requires more. Yeah, and that was the problem I had with it because I had a brand new computer when Vista came out. It was a Dell Dimension E520. It was a Pentium D, 1 gigabyte of RAM, 160 gig hard drive, and some sort of NVIDIA video card. I bought it in February of 2007, right after Vista came out. Came pre-installed with Vista Home Premium, but it ran like a dog. It was awful. And you would think for 2007, a Pentium D and a gig of RAM would be amazing, but it ran terrible. Ugh. And at the time, I didn't have the know-how to downgrade it to Windows XP, so yeah, it was just a train wreck. But thankfully, I had some other computers later on with Vista that ran a lot better, so it Vista redeemed itself for me. Yeah, and ME, other than that 2001 gateway, most of the time, whenever I've used it since, ME has really been fine. I just don't like the lack of real mode DOS support. That's the big turnoff for me. Yeah, I do hope to get a house someday. In fact, Windows ME actually ran really great on my never obsolete E machine when I had it. It was slow, but it ran pretty good. It was reliable, at least. And as for Vista, once Windows 7 came out, I just completely abandoned it, and I didn't use Vista ever again until last year when I did that video about it. There was just no point in having Vista anymore once you had Windows 7. Yeah, yeah, Blue Horizon, I can see what you mean by that. There really wasn't a point to having it by then, I guess. Oh, WeatherStar 3, I just saw your message. The gateway did run Windows ME worse than the E machine. Opinion on Dark Side Phil? I've heard of the guy, but I've never watched his videos. I've heard some pretty negative stuff about him, though, but yeah, I've never really watched him. Diesel Ducey, I've never heard of him. Malt Shop Memories CD, I think I remember that one, yeah. Never had those CDs, though. I was actually pretty late to the CD game. I didn't have my first CD player until 1997. Of course, I had CD-ROMs before then, thanks to the Packard Bell, but it wasn't until 1997 that I started listening to music CDs. And then we didn't get a CD player in the car until the very end of 1999. Earliest memory of using a computer, oh, that would have to be my aunt's Gateway 2000 back in the summer of 1995. Seeing it run Windows 3.1 and playing Sierra games on it, that's my earliest memory. Oh yeah, the Windows Vista capable sticker. I remember those. Do American CDs work in the UK? I imagine they would. Yeah, I think I remember the Anne Murray CD commercial on Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network was notorious back then for having so many of those type of ads on there. Wow, 40 viewers. This is we're doing really good tonight. Earliest computer memory was EDO memory. Oh, I just got it. Oh, thank you, Ryan Sawyer. Didn't move to NT by 2001. Yeah, we didn't get a our first computer with Windows XP. We didn't get until November of 2002. I don't know if I've ever played any Valve games. Oh, the 100 Songs for Kids commercial. I think I remember that one too. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we almost could have had a home version of Windows 2000 if Neptune had gone further than it did, but unfortunately that kind of fizzled out, and we wound up with Windows ME instead and had to wait for XP in 2001. I just my thing with Windows 2000 is just that I never used it back when it was still current. I just didn't have access to it, so that's why I just don't have that many fond memories of it because I didn't get to use it. Ugh. My first impression about XP, I remember seeing it on computer displays at stores when it first came out and being fascinated by the logon screen, just how futuristic it looked compared to Windows 9X. And then when we finally got it in 2002, I really liked it. The only issue was there was a little bit of a learning curve to it, and there were some games that I used to play on 9X, like Earthworm Jim, that wouldn't run right on XP. Favorite version of Windows 9X? Definitely Windows 95, just because of nostalgia reasons. It was my first OS. Is what I learned to use a computer on. So, ooh. Yeah, I remember seeing those diagrams on the back of ME and 2000 boxes, describing which each version was intended for. ME for home, 2000 for business. Favorite looking version of Windows? Oh, that's a tough question. It They all look pretty good. XP, I really do like the Luna theme, despite what a lot of people think. Windows 8, I pretty much skipped over that one. I did not like the interface. It was too tablety, and I just could not stand that. So I went straight from 7 to 10 for that one. Anime, no, I am just not into anime at all. That's just not my thing. It's okay if for anyone else that's into it, but it's just not for me. Yeah, I've used some Macs before. I especially used them in elementary school, and 8-bit machines. I've never really used too many of them. I had an Apple IIe for a short time. In fact, we even had an Apple IIe Platinum in kindergarten in our classroom. Ooh, let's see. Oh yeah, speaking of HP Vectras, I got a great big Pentium 3 HP Vectra in the closet that I haven't even turned on yet. I've had it since October. An iMac lamp, oh yeah, the iMac G4. Never used it. Never. I finally saw one in person at a thrift store in Charlotte last month, but it was $100. Yeah, ME did serve a purpose for that. Yeah, I'd say so. Apple II GS, I've never used one in person, unfortunately. I've watched videos about them, but never used one. Same with the Commodore 64. The Commodore 64 is such a popular computer, and I can totally see why. But I've just never owned one, and I just don't have interest enough in owning one, really, especially for space constraints. Okay. Oh yeah, I do have a couple of moderators, I believe. OS2, yeah, I've used that on occasion just for tinkering with, but I've never used it as a full-time thing. Semi-obscure storage media formats, yes, I have at least with zip disk. I've done a lot with zip disk before. I wouldn't mind trying a jazz drive though at some point. The mini disc, I did not I never got to experience. Chrome OS Flex? No, I haven't. I don't think I've ever even tried. I don't think I've ever really used much of the Chrome OS to begin with. Actually, I remember my mom got a Chromebook for Christmas in 2020, and I remember setting a couple of things up on it for her, but that was about it. And I think she only wound up using it to order groceries from Walmart. No, I didn't have iTunes until like 2008 or so. Back in 2003, I was getting music in other ways. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've just never had any interest in owning a Chromebook. There's really no point. Rhapsody, I've heard of that, I think. Yeah, sounds familiar. Vinyl, yeah, I have a few vinyl albums lying around. I have a small collection of those. I have a Audio Technica turntable in the living room that I use sometimes. Has a USB connection so I can digitize them. I'm more of a cassette person though when it comes to old audio media. Yeah, the I guess you could say that. Netbook, yes, I did own a netbook. I got a Acer netbook back in January of 2009, and it was I used it for several years. It lasted a good while, and I think I had a video about it years ago on my channel, like in 2010. If you could time travel, what year would you visit? Oh, most certainly 1994. That's my favorite year of all time. I don't know why, but everything just seemed great that year. It was I turned 5 that year. There was so many good stuff on TV. Carolina Circle Mall was still at its high point, and it was just a great year. I don't know why I'm obsessed with that year. I don't know why. Let's see. Which do I prefer? Dell Latitude, HP EliteBook, or ThinkPad? I do not know which of those would be my favorite. I like all three. I think my next one might actually be an EliteBook because I've heard so many good things about them. But Dell Latitude and ThinkPads, I like them both. If money and space was not an issue, what computer would you like to own? Oh, definitely the Packard Bell Spectria, the all-in-one Packard Bell. Those are even rarer than the corner Packard Bell, and I would love to own one of those someday. Games as a service, like most people, I don't really care for that. Always on DRM that can go away. I would love for that to go away. I remember the big ordeal 11 years ago when SimCity 2013 came out. Oh, that was a disaster. The Packard Bell Executive Multimedia PC, yeah, the executive models were more common in the UK, I think. We did have over here in the US, we did have some executive Packard Bell systems, but those were geared toward businesses, and those are kind of rare actually. Hey, Packard Bell mini tower case, I love those things. Acer Travelmate, I can't. I did have an Acer Travelmate for a short time back in 2013, I think. I do recall that now, and it was a first gen Core i5, I want to say. I thought they had Packard Bell Legends in the UK. Of course, my knowledge of international Packard Bells isn't as strong as it should be. Close that out. Okay. Yeah, and another difference with the UK ones is they came with different software packs and different pre-installed computer games. Showcasing my VHS collection, yeah, that's something I would definitely consider. I probably won't play the VHSs just because of copyright, but I could show the tapes, the physical tapes themselves. That might be interesting. Ugh, I'm sleepy. Ultimate Human Body. Yeah, we didn't get that on the Packard Bells over here. Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis? I like them both, but I'm probably more nostalgic for the Super Nintendo just because it was what I saw more of back in the day. Oh, Mixed Up Mother Goose. That's a classic. First computer game I ever played. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, Windows activation can get a little annoying at times, especially when your key is truly legit and it doesn't think it is. Rebel, the what you're probably thinking of was Legend Supreme in Platinum Supreme. Anything that had the Supreme name on it was sold only at Sears. It's funny seeing so many people's childhood PCs being Windows XP computers. My Windows XP computer was my teenage year computer. PS1 or N64, I had both at the same time when they were current, but I gotta say, N64 probably has a little bit more nostalgia for me. During the Windows 95 setup, why towards the end does it stop reading the CD? I don't know. That is a very bizarre glitch. But I usually don't experience that because I copy the files over to the setup files over to the hard drive, so that's really not a factor anymore. In fact, that's what I recommend anyone do with any version of Windows 9X when you install it. You need to copy them to the hard drive to make it just makes things a lot easier, and that's how OEMs did it back in the day. Speaking of VHSs, let me see if I can find a random one to show. Uh, what have I got over here? The more interesting stuff's over here, I think. I think I'm making a mess of things now. Well, I didn't realize I had so many Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle tapes that I never even watched. Oh, oh, where did OBS go? My favorite movie. And of course, I have to have it on VHS. So that's an interesting one. I'll do a more in-depth showing of these tapes at some point. Red Skelton Lost Episodes, huh? Forgot I had that one. And it's a little late for this, being that it's January, but one of my favorite Christmas specials of all time I have on VHS, the Santa Experience Rugrats from 1994. Put this back in a safe place. Yeah, I have all three Back to the Futures on VHS. Oh yeah, I'm glad to see Retrospector 78 made a comeback. I need to watch his new video. He always had some really good videos. Favorite classic computer operating systems? Yours are 95, 98, and XP. Funny enough, those are my favorites as well, but I'd also like to add Windows 3.1 to that list as well. That was first one I ever saw. Didn't experience the 32X when it was new, but the Sega Saturn, that was my first video game console, and I would love to get another one someday. And I did have a Dreamcast. I got that for Christmas in 2001. I loved Sonic Adventure on it. My all-time favorite Back to the Future movie. I love all three of them, but I guess the original because it's the original and it's just such a classic. Favorite Rugrats episode. It's hard to say what my favorite episode is because they're all so good, but my favorite seasons are the original three, one, two, and three. The originals are always the best. Once they started adding Dill, and especially when they added Kimmy, it was just a train wreck. I'm sorry. And don't get me started on All Grown Up. That's a rant for that could be a rant for a whole video. Do I prefer ceilings, floors, or walls? Well, walls, especially when I'm in a bathroom. Yeah, I have ruined. No, I didn't ruin. Why am I saying the word ruined? I have emulated the Sega Saturn before, and it's gotten really good now. I'm very very happy with that. Legend of Zelda, I've never actually gotten into those games. I've never really found them that interesting. Chucky the Brave, I have that tape. I think it's over there somewhere. Ooh. Metal Slug, what's wrong with your grandma's old gateway? What's it doing or not doing, for that matter? Charlie Pride and Don Williams tape. I've never gotten into those folks actually. Favorite Nickelodeon shows growing up. Well, my all-time favorite was Rugrats, but I also loved Nickelodeon Guts, Nick Arcade, Family Double Dare, Doug, Rocco's Modern Life, all that, among many others. Almost everything on that channel back then was just pure gold. Back in the early to mid 90s. Best thrift store finds, probably any of the Packard Bells I used to find at the Greensboro Value Village. May it rest in peace. Oh yeah, power base converter. I've seen those. I do have a Model 2 Genesis I think in the closet. I've only got one game for it. I'm hoping to get an EverDrive for it at some point. One of the expensive ones that can play Sega CD. images, that would be really cool. Earliest life memory is the most bizarre one you could think of, but yet the most simple. I was about a year or two old, and I just simply remember walking into the living room. That's all there is to it. Video Now, that name sounds familiar, but I don't remember what it is. By the way, one idea I have a couple of ideas for some upcoming streams that you guys might enjoy. One, I am going to go through some old computer ads and catalogs and stuff like that. And I'm also going to do one where I react to old computer how-to videos from back in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, old radios. I think I was probably too old too for Video Now when it was a thing. Oh, Keenan and Kel, love that show. That was hilarious. Oh man. Let me get this hooked up over here. Yeah, I'll admit I loved Barney growing up. But let's be honest, a lot of people did back then. Don't deny it. Okay, let me I am working on something, folks. Okay, let's see if this will work. Window capture. Okay. The static you're seeing is a keg of fusion. Figure we try some Sega emulation in this video. Move up. Gotta just making some adjustments here, folks. Yeah, I still need to watch the new Good Burger movie. Turn desktop audio on. Alright, let's load a ROM. We'll start off with Genesis. Why not? Let's try some Booger Man. This is one of the most inappropriate games I could ever imagine, but I love it. I love that catchphrase. Oop. Zoom Beanies, yeah, I should do a video about that. I never actually played that back when it was new. Yeah, growing up with the N64, Game Shark was my best friend. Stay classy, folks. Now this part's a little tricky. I remember playing with my brother on his Super Nintendo when I was real little. I remember us playing a Tiny Toon adventure game we had rented from the local video store back in 1995. It was sports related, and I remember there was this part where where a ball would hit the screen, it would make it look like the TV was cracked, and I laughed my head off at that. Beat 'em ups, yeah, I like those every now and then. Goodness. Nothing. Oh yeah, someone asked this earlier. I didn't get to the question. I don't remember who it was, but they were asking how my dog's doing. She's doing great. Probably the most loving dog I've ever known. Wish I had had a PC port of this game. That would have been neat. I didn't know you could do that in Crash Team Racing. I've only played it a few times. Tony, unfortunately, 86 box and PCM cannot emulate a PB600 board at the moment. They haven't been able to implement that. I wish they could. My dial-up ISP, back in the 90s, it was America Online. And then we got DSL through Bell South back in 02. Hello. Oh, what? How did I die? How did I die? Oh yeah, it seems like the sound I used to hear more times than not on AOL was goodbye against my will. Okay, on to another one. Yeah, we had two phone lines as well. One for regular stuff and one for internet. Okay, I am going to play probably one of the most hilarious Sega Genesis games I have ever witnessed in my life. This is the Barney the Dinosaur video game, Barney's Hide and Seek. It is so... it is so sappy. Of course, when I was into Barney, I didn't have a video game system, so I wouldn't have played this back in the day.
Super duper. Now we're in the forest.
And here's the thing. You can't die in this game. It won't let you.
A watering can.
Nothing can kill you in this game.
Let's go up. I see a friend. Remember, I love you.
Oh. Pick Rave, I'm doing fine. Well, I was until I started playing this.
Oh boy, a ball. Look, it's a friend.
Are you sure it's a friend? I don't trust the look on
Remember,
that
I
face.
love you. Look, it's a heart.
Ugh. Oh, I feel sick.
Look, it's a friend. Remember, I love you.
Yeah, Tookie Dookie,
Whoop-de-doo,
Barney, the TV show was way more tolerable than the video game. It was less sappy.
We found a present. We found a rubber duck.
Yeah, rubber duck.
Look, it's a butterfly.
Yeah, butterfly. They exist in the world. Isn't that great?
Mwah. Whoa! Mwah.
Okay, I didn't mean to do that.
Whoa! Oh boy, a heart. Here's a bunny.
Here's a bunny. Yes, they exist.
Boing! Boing!
Yes, whenever I make any type of movement in real life, I always yell out, boing, boing.
Super duty duper.
Yeah, he can never die, that's right.
Look, it's a bunny. I see baby Bob. Mwah. 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 I see a frog.
Hi-oh, come eat frog here.
Mwah.
And I don't like the look of this Barney character, yay!
Let's go up. I see some trash. Here's
Yeah,
a
you can't have a 90s kids game
trash can. Mwah.
without, talking about the wonders of, waste management.
Mwah. Mwah.
Yeah, this...
Let's go up.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider this much of a game either.
Look, it's a friend. Remember, I love you.
You need to quit doing that, Barney. You'll get some looks.
Stop. Wait until it's safe. Oh boy, we can ride on the cloud. Oh boy. a
Riding on the
snail.
cloud must be the
Oh
60s.
boy, a flower. Look, it's a flower. Whoa! Look, it's a balloon.
Barney in concert. Yes, I remember that tape.
Mwah. We found a bear.
Hey, boo-boo! I don't like the look of that Barney fella.
Mwah.
The ranger ain't gonna like this yogi.
Mwah. Oh boy, a snail.
How many times in your life have you ever said, "Oh boy, a snail"?
Oh boy, a flower. Whoop,
Who keeps littering in this game?
some trash.
And why does it look like a Coca-Cola can that's been petrified into a fossil? Barney Live in New York City. Yes, I remember watching that on
Oh boy,
NBC.
a balloon. Here's a bunny. Look, it's Baby Bob.
Baby Bob. Oh my gosh. Not her.
Remember, I love you. Look, it's a bunny.
Didn't I just give him a carrot?
We found a heart.
Yeah, I was too old for Blue's Clues when that came out. Yeah, the Barney in New York
We
that
found
actually
a
did air on
balloon.
NBC.
Oh, goody goody.
Funny
We
story,
found
you
a
know the
heart.
"I love you, you love me" song.
Boing.
My dad used to sing that to me when I was little, and it would freak me
Oh
out.
boy, a
I didn't
raccoon.
like him singing, and it would scare me, and I would cry. Lee Carvello's putting challenge. Yeah, that would be better.
Let's see what's up here.
By the way, does this
Let's
level
play
ever
with
end?
the butterfly. We found a watering can. Oh boy, we can ride on the log.
Yay.
Let's go up. We found a raccoon.
Uh, don't touch that raccoon.
Ooh, this is so much fun.
Uh, you have a weird
We
definition
found
of
a
fun.
balloon. We found a bear.
Funniest looking bear I've ever seen.
Oh boy, a heart.
Every frog had that
I
sound back
see
then.
a flower. We found a balloon. Oh, this is fun. I see a bird. Mwah, mwah. Stop. Wait until it's safe. Mwah, mwah.
Well, how am I supposed to get down from here?
Mwah.
Oh, there we
Let's
go.
ride on the cloud. Oh, this is so much fun. Look, it's a balloon.
Johnson and Friends, never heard of it.
Mwah. Oh boy, a present. Mwah. We found a teddy bear.
Teddy bear.
I see a nest. Mwah, mwah. Boing. I see a present. Oh boy, a truck.
Yeah,
Let's
got
see
me a
what's up
truck,
here.
yeah.
Look, it's a watering can. I see a present. We found a doll. Look, it's a bird.
Okay, I found everything. Why is he still going?
Look, it's a heart.
There we go.
How many did you find?
Okay, we gotta go. We gotta play something else. We gotta play something else. Let's play something more. Uh, how do I put this? Normal. Radical Rex. This is a good game. Yes, the 90s. Gotta have a skateboard. Yeah, I liked Barney back in the day, but I don't think I would have liked the game. Whoa. I'm about to die, aren't I? How do I get up there? Yeah, and that'll probably be the last time you see the Barney game on here. There we go. Gullah Gullah Island, yeah, I remember that show. I think DuckTales may have been a little before my time. That was more of an 80s thing. Oh yeah, Rugrats. Best cartoon ever made. I got the skateboard again. Yeah, I'm on my skateboard, yeah! Animaniacs, yes, I love Animaniacs. Yeah, again, the Barney game will not be seen on this channel ever again, probably. I don't think I can bear any more of that. Oh, okay, apparently that's instant death. Okay, let's head to another one. Let's try Sega CD. And this is a Sylphid, which was also a popular DOS game, but this is, of course, a much more powerful version. Emulates the load times great, doesn't it? Wait, is it even working? I don't think it's working. Let's try something else. Let's try Afterburner 3. I think I may have had a bad image. Oh yeah, this one works.
The F-14 Tomcat. Caged lightning with million-dollar missiles and a Vulcan 20mm cannon. You'll need every ounce of firepower this plane can offer for your current mission. Command headquarters let you know this morning that the enemy is building airfields and bases all over the desert. They're protecting those bases with squadrons of their best.
Okay, yeah, I get it. Bad guys exist. By the way, I am not good at this game. Just so you know. Oh yeah, I was about to ask you. I don't think there was ever a Model 3 Sega CD. Can I get him? How did that happen? I wasn't paying attention, that's what. Great music in this game, by the way. Oh, okay. Yeah, I told you I wasn't good at this game. Oh, it's those missiles. They keep coming out of nowhere. I don't have much reaction time. Oh. Okay, have I ever gotten this far, I wonder? Oh. Oh, come on. It's those bombs that keep getting me. Oh, oh, come on. The game on the Windows 95 install disk, that was Hover. Oh. And you know, Pokemon, that's something I've never really enjoyed. In fact, I've never enjoyed it at all. I tried watching one episode when I was like 10 years old. I didn't like it. Oh, come on. Those stupid bombs. Oh, oh. Ugh. Okay, let's try something else. You know what? Sonic CD. Something a little more manageable. This was the first Sonic game I ever played, but it wasn't on anything Sega related. It was on Windows 95. I remember we got a copy of Sonic CD at Best Buy back in 1996. In fact, I have a picture of the 822 somewhere playing Sonic CD, and because of that, I thought Sonic was a PC thing. Until 1997 when I got a Sega Saturn and played Sonic 3D Blast on it. I love that spring sound. Yeah, I think this will probably have to be my favorite Sonic game. And plus it involves time travel. I love time travel stuff. It's my favorite sci-fi thing. And not just because of Back to the Future. Okay, yeah, it was because of Back to the Future. Sega Smash Pack. What was on the Sega Smash Pack? I've always been curious because I've never really been able to find it. Were there ever any kind of PC ports of Sonic 1 and 2? I've always wondered that. If there is, I'd love to try them. The special stages, by the way, in Sonic are always awful. I've got to say, I'm not good at them. Especially the ones where you have to get those blue balls and not get the red balls. I have never succeeded at that. I have never ever succeeded at that game. Sonic Schoolhouse. Yes, I have that. I've had that since I was a little kid. It was a very quirky game, but very nostalgic. I need to do a video where I play that sometime. It was very crash happy though. I remember getting a ton of illegal operations on it. Yeah, LGR did do a review of Sonic Schoolhouse. I remember that. I never watched uh, Toonami. Uh, Question on an XP install. What's the issue? Yeah, like I said, I was just never an anime fan. Never have been. I'll have to check the Internet Archive and see if they have the Sega Smash Pack. I wouldn't mind trying that. Oh, one of my least favorite sounds. Speaking of sounds from Sonic, have you ever been to a any gas station before, and the cash register plays the Sonic ring sound? That's, I've experienced that a few times. Wow, that was fast. I've never defeated Robotnik that quick. Hey, that didn't sound like Steve Urkel. Okay, let's move on to something else. Let's try a 32X game. This is probably my favorite 32X game, by the way.
Virtua Racing. Three, two, one, go.
Let's see, have you tried using the easy to boot? Oh, I hated Real Player. I hated Real Player so much. But that's all we had back then. Oh yeah, I forgot about QuickTime. A lot of computer games in the early to mid 90s required QuickTime. Now Rufus, I'm not sure about that. I've never used Rufus to install XP with, so I don't know if I can help you with that. Yeah, try easy to boot. That might be a better option. Oh, I used to download videos with Real Player 2 back in the day. I remember it would always be .flv files. and nothing much could play those. Whoa, didn't know I could do that. Yeah, I know the 32X failed, but hey, at least Sega was thinking outside the box, I guess you could say. Oh yeah, I remember Google Video. I didn't really watch it though, but I remember it. Favorite store at Carolina Circle Mall? Probably Montgomery Ward. It was a lot like Sears. They had a little bit of everything. They had a really cool electronics section and rows and rows of computers showing the flying windows screensaver. Camelot music was good too. I used to get a lot of cassettes there. Let's see, will we make it full the whole through the whole lap? UTU, I just vaguely remember that. I'm doing fine, BBC. Hope you are. By the way, just a reminder that I do have a Patreon page. If you would like to support me, that will give you access to the Discord server, among other things. Didn't make it. We'll see what this one is. Yeah, I highly recommend Easy to Boot. It has SATA drivers built in for Windows XP. Favorite cartoon on Nickelodeon besides Rugrats? That would have to be a tie between Doug and Rocko's Modern Life. Both of those are really, really good. Oh, this one's a lot trickier. Come on. Oh yeah, I remember watching Jimmy Neutron back in the 2000s. Wait a minute, how am I in last place? I just noticed that. I didn't really get into Ren and Stimpy until about 10 or 11 years ago. It's good every now and then, not my favorite, but I do enjoy it sometimes. I am not Oh yeah, the adult party cartoon. I've heard so many bad things about that. Well, that was terrible. Oh, all that. Love that show. Okay, well, I think that will just about do it for this week's stream. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I sure did. I had a lot of fun. Until next time, this is Billy Core signing off.